Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday night. I'm going to take a drink and say our prayer and get ready for our good read. Tonight's prayer: the Lord will always guide you. The Lord will always guide you. Isaiah 58:11. The Lord will always guide you. Isaiah 58:11. What a beautiful prayer. All right, I'm going to get comfy. Hello, Paula. Oh, I having trouble with my bronchitis tonight. How are you? Good to see everybody. Welcome into our thriller, The Housemaid. And we are on chapter 34. When we left off, Andrew had kicked his wife out of the house for the housemaid. And we are all excited to see what is going to happen in chapter 34. I wake up the next morning in the guest bedroom with Andrew asleep beside me. After Nina left last night, this is where we ended up. I didn't want to sleep in his bed, where Nina had been sleeping just the night before. And my own cot upstairs was not very comfortable for two bodies. So this was the compromise. I suppose if we continue like this, if things become more serious between us, I'll eventually have to sleep in the master bedroom. But not yet. It still smells like Nina in there. Her stench clings to everything. Andrew's eyes crack open and a smile spreads across his face, and he sees me lying there beside him. Well, hello, he says. Hello yourself. He runs a finger down my neck and over my shoulder. I love waking up next to you instead of her. I feel the same way. I hope I get to wake up next to him tomorrow and the next morning after. Nina didn't appreciate this man, but I do. She took her life for granted. It's easy to think that now it will be mine. He leans in and kisses me on the nose. I better get up. I have to get to a meeting. I struggle to sit up in bed. I'll make you breakfast. Don't even think about it. He climbs out of the bed. The blanket's falling down. He is in really good shape. He must work out. You have been getting up and making breakfast for us every single day since you've been here. Today you sleep in and do whatever you want. I usually do the laundry on Mondays. I don't mind running a load and no. He gives me a look. Look, I don't know exactly how to work this all out, but I really like you. I want to give you and me a real try. And if we're going to do that, you can't be my maid. I'll find somebody else to clean, and you can hang out here until you figure out what you want to do next. My cheeks flush. It's not that easy for me, you know. I have a record. People don't want to hire someone who. That's why you can stay here as long as you want to. He holds up a hand to cut off my protest. I mean it. I love having you here. And who knows, maybe it'll end up being, a permanent thing. He gives me this sweet, charming smile, and I melt. Nina had to be insane to let this guy get away. I'm still scared she's going to want him back. I watch Andrew thread his muscular legs through his shorts, and I pretend not to be watching. He winks at me one last time. Then he leaves the room to take a shower, and I'm all alone. I let out a yawn, stretching out in this luxurious double bed. I was thrilled when I got the cot upstairs, but this is on a whole nother level. I didn't even realize I had been walking around with a crick in my back, but after one night on this mattress, it feels better. A girl could get used to this. I had abandoned my phone on the nightstand next to the bed, but now it starts buzzing with a phone call. I reach for it and frown at the message on the screen. Blocked number. My stomach fills with butterflies. Who is calling me at this hour of the morning? I stare at the screen until the phone goes silent again. Well, that was one way to deal with it. I drop my phone back down on the nightstand and struggle up back in bed. It's just not the mattress that's comfortable. The sheets feel like I'm sleeping on a bed of silk, and the blanket is warm yet somehow light. So much better than the itchy, woolly thing I have been sleeping up under upstairs, and that awful scrawny blanket I had in prison. Nice, expensive blankets feel good. Who knew? My eyes start to drift shut again, but just before I fall asleep, my phone starts ringing yet again. I groan and reach out for my phone. Once again, it has the same message. Blocked number. Who could be calling me? I don't have any friends. Cecilia's school has my number, but school is out for the summer. The only person who ever calls me is Nina. Well, if it's her, she's the last person I want to talk to right now. I press the red button to reject the call, but there's no way I'm falling asleep again. So I get out of bed and go upstairs to take a shower. When I get downstairs, Andrew is already wearing his suit and sipping on a mug of coffee. I run my fingers self-consciously over my jeans, feeling incredibly undressed compared to him. He's standing by the window, looking out at the front yard, his lips turned down. Everything okay, I ask? He jolts, surprised by my presence. He smiles. Yeah, fine. It's just that darn landscaper out there again. What is he doing all the time out there? I join him at the window. Esno has bent over a flower bed with a spade in his hand. Gardening? He looks down at his watch. It's 8 in the morning. He's always here. There are a dozen other family he works for. Why is he always here? I shrug, but truthfully, he has a point. It does seem like Esno is in our yard a lot. A disproportionate amount of time, even considering how much larger our yard is than many of the others. Andrew seems to make his mind up about something, and he puts his coffee down on the windowsill. I reach for it, knowing Nina will have an absolute fit if she sees a ring of coffee on the windowsill. But then I stop myself. Nina isn't going to give me a hard time anymore. I don't even have to see her again. I can leave coffee cups wherever I want them from now on. Andrew strides into the front lawn, a determined expression on his face, and I follow him out of curiosity. Obviously, he's planning to say something to Esno. He clears his throat 2 times, but it's not enough to get Esno's attention. Finally, he snaps, "Esno." Esno very slowly lifts his head and turns around. "Yes, I want to talk to you." Esno lets out a long sigh and gets back on his feet. He ambles over to us, going as slow as humbly possible. "Hey, what you want?" "Listen, Andrew is tall, but Esno is taller, and he has to lift his head to look at him. Thank you for all your help here, but we don't need you anymore, so please, just get your things and go to your next job." "Chicasa," Enzo says. Andrew's lips set into a straight line. "I said, we don't need you. Done. Finished. You can leave." Esno's head tilts to the side. "Fired?" Andrew sucks in a breath. "Yes, fired." Esno contemplates this for a moment. I take a step back, aware that strong and muscular Andrew is, Esno has him beat by a mile. If the 2 of them were to fight, I don't even think it would be a close call. But then he just shrugs. "Okay, I go." He seems to care so little about the whole darn thing. I wonder if Andrew feels silly for having made a big deal out of him working here so often. But Andrew nods, relieved. "Gracias. I appreciate your help for the last few years." Esno just stares at him blankly. Andrew mutters something under his breath and turns around to go back into the house. I start to follow him, but just as Andrew disappears through the front door, something restrains me. It takes me a second to realize that Esno has grabbed my arm. I turn around to look at him. His expression has completely changed since Andrew went back into the house. His dark eyes are wide as they stare into mine. "Millie, you must get out of here. You are in terrible danger." My mouth falls open, not only because of what he said, but how he says it. Since I have been working here, he hasn't managed to string together more than a couple of English words. And now, he said 2 entire sentences. And not just that, but the Italian accent that was so thick I can hardly understand is far more subtle. It's the accent of a man who is comfortable with the English language. "I'm okay," I say. "Nina is gone." "No." He shakes his head firmly, his fingers still wrapped around my arm. "You are wrong. She is not." Before he can get any other words out, the front door to the house swings open again. Esno quickly releases my arm and backs away. "Millie," Andrew pokes his head out of the front door. "Everything okay?" "Fine," I manage. "You coming back inside?" I want to stay out here and ask Esno what exactly is meant by his ominous warning and what he is trying to tell me. But I have to go back inside the house. I don't have a choice. As I follow Andrew through the front door, I look back at Esno. He has made himself busy gathering his equipment. He doesn't even look up at me. It's almost like I imagined the entire thing, except when I look down at my arm, I can see the angry red marks his fingers left behind. And that takes us to chapter 35. Good evening, everyone. Andrew told me that I shouldn't be doing any work for the house, but Monday I usually go grocery shopping, and we're low on a lot of supplies, And after I flipped through a few books I pulled out of the bookcase and watched a little TV, I'm itching for something else to do with myself. Unlike Nina, I like keeping busy. I have been meticulously avoiding the grocery store, with that security guard tried to apprehend me. Instead, I go to a different grocery store in another part of town. They're all the same anyway. The best part is pushing my cart around the store and not having to follow Nina's stupid, pretentious grocery list. I can buy whatever I want. If I want to get back to brioche bread, I'll have brioche. And if I want to have sourdough, I'll get that too. I don't have to send her 100 pictures of every kind of bread. It's so liberating. While I am looking through the dairy aisle, my phone rings inside my purse. Again, I get that unsettling feeling. Who could be calling me? Maybe it's Andrew. I reach into my purse and pull out the phone. Again, there's a blocked number. Whoever called me this morning is still trying to call me again. Millie, is it? I nearly jump out of my skin. I look up and it's one of the women Nina had over for her PTA meeting. I can't remember her name. She's pushing her own shopping cart and she's got a phony smile on her plump painted lips. Yes, I say. I'm Patrice, she said. You're Nina's girl, right? I bristle at the label she gave me. Nina's girl. Wow. Wait till she finds out that Andrew dumped Nina and she's going to be screwed over in the divorce thanks to the prenup. Wait till she finds out that I am Andrew Winchester's new girlfriend. Soon, maybe I'll be the one she has to suck up to. I work for the Winchesters, I say stiffly. But not for long. Oh, good. Her smile broadens. I've been trying to get in touch with Nina all morning. She and I were supposed to get together for brunch. We always have brunch on Mondays and Thursday at Kirsten's Diner. But she never showed up. Is everything okay? Yes, I lie. Everything is fine. Patricia purses her lips. I guess she must have forgotten then. You know Nina. She can be a bit flaky, I'm sure. Oh, she's a lot more than that. But I keep my mouth shut. Her eyes fall on the phone in my hand. Is that the phone Nina gave you to use? Oh, yeah, it is. She throws back her head and laughs. I have to say, it's nice of you to let her keep track of where you are at all times. I don't know if I would be okay with that if I were you. I shrug. She mostly just texts me. It's not that bad. That's not what I mean. She nods at the phone. I'm talking about the tracking app she installed. Doesn't it drive you crazy that she wants to know where you are all the time? I felt like I got sucker punched in the stomach. Nina tracks me on the phone. What the heck? I'm so stupid. Of course she would do something like that. It makes perfect sense. And now I realize that she didn't have to go through my purse to find the playbill or to call the house the night of the show. She knew exactly where I was. Oh, Patrice claps her hands over her mouth. I'm so sorry. Did you not realize? I want to slap her across her Botox face. I'm not sure whether she knew that I knew about it or not, but she looks like she's taking great pleasure in being the one to tell me. A cold sweat breaks out in the back of my neck. Excuse me, I say to Patrice. I push past her, having my grocery cart behind. I race out into the parking lot, and I can only breathe again, and I'm out of the store. I put my hands on my knees, lean forward, and my breathing returns to normal. When I straighten up again, a car is making a quick exit from the parking lot. I recognize the white Lexus. it looks like Nina's car. And then my phone starts to ring again. I rip it out of my purse. Again, it says block number. Fine, if she wants to talk to me, she can go ahead and say whatever she wants. If she wants to threaten me and call me a homewrecker, let her do that too. I jab at the green button. Hello, Nina. Hello, a cheerful voice says. It's come to our attention that your vehicle warranty may have been recently expired. I pull the phone away from my ear and stare at it in disbelief. It wasn't Nina after all. It was a stupid spam caller. I just completely overreacted to the entire thing. But I still can't push away the feeling that I'm in danger. And that takes us to chapter 36. Welcome, everyone. Andrew is stuck at work tonight. He sent me a regretful text message at 6:45. Problem at work. I'm stuck here at least another hour. Eat without me. I text back. No problem. Drive safely. But inside, I was reeling with disappointment. I had so much fun having dinner in Manhattan with Andrew. I have been attempting to recreate one of the meals we had at the French restaurant. Steak à la porree. I used black peppercorns that I had picked up at the supermarket after I worked up the nerve to go back in. Mint chalet, cognac, red wine, beef broth, and a heavy whipping cream. The smell was incredible, but it wasn't going to keep for another hour or two. Steak just isn't the same reheated. I had no choice but to eat my magnificent dinner all alone. And now it's sitting in my stomach like a rock while I flick through the stations of the television. I don't like being in this house alone. When Andrew is here, it feels like his house, which it is. But when he's not here, the whole place reeks of Nina. Her perfume emanates from every crack and crevice. She's marked her territory with her scent like an animal. Even though Andrew told me not to, I did a deep clean of the house after my shopping trip, trying to get rid of her perfume, but I can still smell it. As obnoxious as Patrice was in the supermarket, she did me a big favor. Nina was tracking me. I found the tracking app, hidden it in a random folder, somewhere I never would have seen it. I deleted it immediately, but I still can't shake the feeling that she's watching. I close my eyes and I think of the warning Esno gave me this morning. You must get out of here. You are in terrible danger. He was afraid of Nina. I could see it in his eyes when he and I were talking, and she passed within earshot. You are in terrible danger. I push away a wave of nausea. She's gone now, but maybe she could still hurt me. The sun was gone down, and when I looked out the window, all I can see is my reflection. I stand up from the sofa and walk over to the window, my heart pounding. I press my forehead against the cool glass, peering into the dark outside. Is that a car parked outside the gates? I squint into the darkness, trying to figure out if I am just imagining things. I suppose I could go outside and get a closer look, but that would involve unlocking the doors to the house. And of course, what's the difference if the door is unlocked when Nina has a key? My thoughts are interrupted by the sound of my phone ringing on the coffee table. I hurry over to grab it before the call and frown when I find block number on the screen. I shake my head and another spam call. Just what I need. I press the green button to accept the call, expecting to hear the obnoxious recorded voice. But instead, I hear a distorted, mechanical voice. Stay away from Andrew Winchester. I suck in my breath. Nina! I couldn't tell if it was a man or woman, much less whether it was Nina. There's a click on the other line. It had gone dead. I swallow. I've had enough of Nina's games. Starting tomorrow, I'm taking back this house. I'm calling a locksmith to change all the locks on the doors. And tonight, I'm spending the night in the master bedroom. Enough of the guest room bedroom bullcrap. I am not a guest here anymore. Andrew said he wanted to become permanent, so now this is my home too. I head for the stairs, taking them two at a time. I'm going up. I get the stuffy room in the attic. Except it won't be my bedroom after tonight. I'm packing everything up and moving it downstairs. This will be the last time in this claustrophobic little room and the weird lock on the outside of the door. I grab one of my pieces of luggage out of the closet. I start throwing clothing inside, not bothering to be careful, given that I am just carrying it down one flight of stairs. And of course, I'll have to ask Andrew's permission before I clean out the drawers downstairs. But he can't expect me to live up here anymore. It's inhuman. This room is some sort of torture chamber. Millie, what are you doing? The voice from behind me nearly gives me a heart attack. I clutch my chest and turn around. Andrew, I didn't hear you come in. His gaze darts over my luggage. What are you doing? I shoved the handful of bras I was holding into the luggage. Well, I thought I might move downstairs. Oh, is that okay? I feel suddenly awkward. I had assumed Andrew would be fine with it, but maybe I shouldn't have made that assumption. He takes a step towards me. I bite down on my lip until it hurts. Of course it's okay. I was going to suggest it myself, but I wasn't sure if you would want to. My shoulders sag. I definitely want to. I had kind of a rough day. What have you been up to? I saw some of my books on the coffee table. Have you been reading? I wish that's all I had been doing today. Honestly, I didn't want to talk about it. He takes another step and reaches out to trace my jaw with the tip of his finger. Maybe I can make you forget about it. I shiver at his touch. I bet you can. And he does. And that takes us to chapter 37. And I am going to go ahead and read 37 because that is going to take us to part 2 of the book. Hi, Deidre. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. So it's just a short page and a half, and then we will reach part 2. So, chapter 37. Despite how uncomfortable my cot is, compared with the incredible mattress in the guest room, I pass out after Andrew and I made love up there, wrapped tightly in his arms. I never thought I would be, especially since Nina was so strict about letting me have any guests over. The rule certainly didn't work out too well for her. I wake up again around 3 in the morning. The first sensation I become aware of is my blanket, full and slightly uncomfortable. I got to hit the bathroom. Usually I go right before bed, but Andrew wore me out. I fell asleep before I could muster up the energy. And that's the other sensation. I became aware, a sense of emptiness. Andrew isn't in the cot anymore. I suspect after I fell asleep, he decided to relocate to his own room. I can't blame him. This cot is hardly comfortable for one person, much less two. And the room is so claustrophobic. Maybe he tried to rough it out, but after tossing and turning, he migrated downstairs. Andrew is more than 10 years older than me, and my back can barely make it through the night with this mattress, so I can hardly blame him. I am so glad this is the last night I will be sleeping here. Maybe after I use the bathroom, I'll go join Andrew downstairs. I rise to my feet, the floorboards groaning under my weight. I make my way to the door and turn the doorknob. As usual, it sticks, so I turn it more firmly. It still doesn't turn. Panic mounts in my chest. I press myself against the door, the scratch marks in the wood splintering into my shoulder, and place my right hand squarely on the knob. I try once again to turn it clockwise, but it doesn't budge, not even a millimeter. And that's when I realize what's going on. The door isn't stuck. It is locked. Oh my goodness. Did not Enzo warn her? He told her to get out now. She is in danger. And that takes us to part 2. Oh, wow, guys. This has been a thriller for sure. And I can't wait to hear part 2. Oh, I got chills, you guys. Literally got chills. Oh, that's what a thriller is meant to do. Oh, poor Millie fell right into their trap. Right into their trap. How many of you saw that coming? Oh, yes, it's very interesting. Well, you guys sleep tight this happy Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow for Arts and Crafts. Good night, everyone.